So I'm Mette from Good Evening Europe here with Victor from Greece. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you
You're
for
in
having me.
Athens. How's the weather right now?
Pretty great. A little bit cloudy, but it's sunny. Sunny outside
It's
today.
sunny. Well, here it's rather gray and about 5 degrees, so not jealous at all. But you can't enjoy the sunshine at the moment. I know you have some rehearsals after this interview. Yeah.
Correct.
Can you tell us how is your typical day at the moment with all the preparations and interviews?
It's quite stressful. It's not stressful, but it's very busy. It's quite busy. I have long days, so I mean I was up at 6 o'clock this morning trying to get some social media content, and I go to bed quite late as well, just to be as present as possible. I love connecting with fans over social media, etc. And yeah, I have loads of interviews and loads of rehearsals, and just I'm trying to push as hard as possible to get the best result possible in Eurovision.
Let's talk more about Victor Vernicos Jørgensen. I already feel this a good connection because I'm Danish and you're half Danish. But
Correct.
for those who don't know you yet, could you make an introduction to yourself?
Yeah, sure.
Introduction, yeah.
My name is Victor Vernicos. I'm half Greek, half Danish, and I'm representing Greece this year in Eurovision uh, with my song "What They Say." I love both parts of my heritage. I make music. I write all my own music myself. I produce it too. And I'm 16 years old, and I'm so happy to be going to Eurovision this year.
And because you are half Danish, we'll talk more about your relation with Denmark and talk a bit in Danish also later in this interview. But for now, we'll continue in English for the international audience. How do you feel that your Danish roots have influenced the person you are today?
In many ways, I think it's seeped into my personality because of the so much time that I've spent with my father. Even without me realizing it. I mean, my father just told me before because we were talking about it. Um, that I might have had so many Danish influences that I might have not even understood were Danish because they just become a norm in the house. And because when we go to Denmark or when you go to Greece, we try to adapt. I think as human beings, we adapt to our surroundings. Um, but yeah, there's many parts of my personality that are Danish, including some inspirations music wise.
And do you speak English or Greek or Danish at home or a
I
mix?
we we mostly speak English at home because when we're all together, so when it's my mom and my dad, we speak English. When I'm alone with my mother, we speak both languages, but we speak Greek mainly too. Both my parents fluently speak English, and when with my dad, we usually speak English as well because I haven't had the chance to learn Danish as well as I would have loved to. But I've been trying to speak as much Danish as possible lately, especially because um, it's a really amazing part of my heritage, and I really want to express myself when I from now when I'm starting to get more exposure to a wider audience, and I want to show them that I am truly Danish as well.
You're only 16. You are actually making me feel a bit old right now. But
No,
you wrote the song yourself. You are singing it. You have recorded it and you produced it yourself.
mhm.
And thinking about how annoyed I was when I was 16 just to get out of bed and do my homework. How do one get so talented at only 16?
Just by I don't think it's talent. I just think I practiced a lot and a lot and a lot. I had my beautiful Danish father spreading music to my ears since I was born, and my mother, obviously. And I've just been around music for my whole life. It's always been a huge, huge, huge passion of mine. I've always loved it. Anytime I used to pick up a guitar when I started learning, it was at least 5 hours a time. But I started guitar lessons at 10 years old. I started piano lessons at 4,
Wow,
and I started vocal lessons at 8 years old. And I started writing my own music at around 11. I wrote What They Say when I was 14.
impressive.
It was actually about exactly 2 years ago where I wrote What They Say on my acoustic guitar.
You're the youngest ever Eurovision contestant representing Greece, and as far
Correct.
as far as I know, you're also going to be the youngest artist in Liverpool as well. Have
Correct.
you ever had any doubts if you were ready for this big competition, a million of viewers and the press attention and so on?
Right. I don't really think about the negative thing, the negative side. I don't think it's helpful towards like preparation. So I don't really think of my doubts a lot or feel loads of doubts. I'm just determined to fix anything that needs to be fixed and to create the best performance as possible for the Eurovision stage. I'm just very focused on doing that rather than the anxieties because I don't think they're very helpful sometimes, which is ironic because my song is about anxiety. But I guess every time I listen to my song and I listen to it and I express myself and the anxiety gets out of me and then I can, I just focus on what's needed to be done and practice and practice and do rehearsals and I'm focusing on what I need to do as a performer. So I'm gonna go do there, go to Eurovision, do my job, and hopefully make both of my heritage countries proud.
Did you talk to any former Greek Eurovision artists before you signed up for the Greek selection or after maybe?
I have spoken to Sajid Ruas and I'd spoken to Amanda Tenfjord, who represented Greece last year, who was half Norwegian. Um, and yeah, they're both very very amazing people, and they both told me pretty much a lot along the lines of the same thing. They other than compliments, which or they're very sweet, forgiving. They told me just to take care of myself, um, because that's what's important. Like I'm the person who's going to produce everything, and I have a big responsibility on my back. So I just take care of myself and keep pushing forward and enjoy the whole ride.
You and I, we actually talked a bit last December when you got the news that you were
Right,
among the last 7 artists in the Greek selection. How was the
right.
whole waiting time um, until you finally got the news?
I needed to listen to what they say a million times to get the anxiety out of waiting. It was so long. It felt like 3 years of my life. But then when we got the news, it felt like all of it happened in 15 seconds. It was I was in the most anxious place of my life. I don't know how. It's just waiting for so long because when I can do something, when I can be like, I can work for this and I can make this happen, I'm fine because I know I'm working towards it being better. But there, I just had to wait. I just had to sit on the sofa, do nothing, and wait for a call, and that was heart wrenching. But it was a really nice process. I mean, it was beautiful, even if that there was a long wait because I mean it's all the fun of it. I laugh about it now. It's not that it was so negative. It was fun. It was really, really fun. And I'm so glad things turned out the way that they turned out.
And if you could take us back to the moment when you got the news, how was your reaction? Did you scream or shout or?
I screamed. I screamed. I definitely screamed. I was in the car, so I couldn't jump, but I screamed. I tried jumping. My seatbelt kept me down. I was with my parents, and we all screamed, and we were very, very, very happy that I got selected for Eurovision.
And let's talk a bit about your song, What They Say. I just want to congratulate you on those beautiful lyrics. They really moved me. So
Thank
you're singing, "Hurt ones can't stand seeing others in pain, and that
you.
you'll save all others because it's too late for you."
Hmm.
Um, it sounds like you were in a very dark place, and the song was written when you were only 14.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe that you can achieve a negative mental state at any age. I mean, I think there are two types of situations you need to handle. One is the situations around you, and the other one is your mental state. Somebody could be living in a castle, but and having the best life, best time of their lives, but mentally they can be very, very down. I mean, at the end of the day, you are the person that controls yourself, and just because something doesn't seem big on the outside, could be very big on the inside for somebody. It's just about figuring out where the problem is, if it's external or if it's internal. And I had a situation when I was 13, actually, where and it was the first time that I ever felt strong anxiety that I could pinpoint and be like, that was anxiety, that was overwhelmingness. It was actually 2 years after I'd started, 2, 3 years after I started writing my own music and really getting serious about music, and managers were getting started to get interested from the US and the UK, and and people in general started to get interested around me, and it was just very overwhelming for a 13-year-old because I've always had huge dreams, and I was like, wow, this is actually working, and it's possible and it's real, and that drove me to that overwhelmingness that made me write the song. And the song is the lyrics that the song has aren't something I mean or I think are correct. So I don't, because what I mean is that I don't think it's too late for anybody. I would never want somebody to listen to the song and feel like it's too late for them. But I want people to express the emotion that they have in them while they're feeling it. So that's what I did. And I did it to the purest extent with as much honesty as possible. So I felt that emotion. And then I expressed everything that emotion had. That was the inner thoughts of the anxiety that I had at the moment. And I felt like I'll save all the others because for me it's too late. And then now I feel that other people can express themselves through that.
When you sing this song to other people, does it make you relive this state you were in? Or how do you feel when you sing it?
As a performer, you need to feel the song to perform it correctly. I feel like as a performer, your duty is to feel the emotion you felt when it was written or when you first heard it, or when just to capture the emotion of the song and then pass it on to the others. And so yeah, every time I sing the song, my number one goal is to feel that emotion and purely express it to the other people who are listening to me singing it. But I mean, myself, I don't have that sort of anxiety anymore. But every time I listen to the song, obviously it takes me back to that place, and it surrounds me. It's like an atmosphere of emotion. Every song is that. Every song that is written, I think, correctly and honestly, I think captures you in an atmosphere of that emotion. And what they say definitely does that for me, and I hope it does it to the listeners as well.
And how do you think it would be to stand on that big stage in Liverpool and sing this very personal song?
Insane, and I hope it comes across. My whole heart is going to be there for the audience, and I hope everybody feels the song and it helps them express themselves if they've ever gone through anything like it, or at least they just have fun and enjoy it and just feel the experience. I hope it gives, what I want is to give everyone goosebumps. Even if they can't relate to it, I want them to feel how honest and open the song is, and how emotional it truly is. Like from the start, where it's a little bit more esoteric, and then it opens up and it becomes this release of emotion in the end, in the finale. And I hope it comes across to the crowd, and I hope they love it.
And talking about Liverpool, you're going to start as number 8 in the second semi-final. How do you feel about this
Correct.
number 8?
8 and 23 are my favorite numbers. 23 because it's on my birthday. I was born on the 23rd of October, 2020. Oh my, 2020, 2006.
Yes.
And 8 has always been a lucky number for me because it's infinite. It's if you flip it on the side, it's infinity. So, and that's always had some sort of symbol of resemblance for me for some reason. So I love 8 as a number, and if it means anything, if it doesn't, I like 8. I'm happy with it, and ready to go to the semifinal.
When you're talking about this favorite number, I have to share my thoughts about artists who are half Danish and have Victor in their names. The way I see it, history could be repeating itself this year. In 2021, Victoria, who is half Danish, represented Italy as part of the band Måneskin, and they won. And now,
Oh, that's
2 years
true. That
later,
is true.
yeah,
Victoria, yeah. I
and
know,
you're
yeah.
representing Greece.
Motorsport, of course.
Yeah, and you're representing Greece in Eurovision.
Mhm.
You're half Danish.
And can I tell you some other crazy stuff? That
Oh,
because
yes,
there's a
please do that.
loads of these. So when Greece won last time in Eurovision, Ukraine had won the last year, and Helena Paparizou is half Scandinavian as well. She's half Swedish, and I'm half Danish. And the other thing you said about Victoria, so it's all kind of coming together, and it's getting creepy. But I'm really hoping it means something.
And I can add one more thing. Victor does mean winner in Latin, right?
It
So
does.
it's a sure thing.
Thank you so much. That's a huge compliment, and I really appreciate it. And I hope it all comes true.
I would like to ask you one more thing about Liverpool. Could
Yeah.
you tell us something about the staging or the show or something?
What I can say about the staging, because I can't say much, I'm sorry, is that it will be as the song is. I've been saying this about all processes, as I was saying that I want to bring the performance to the crowd and pass that emotion through. I want to take every single part of the song and connect it with the stage performance. Every single phase of the song, I want it to be cleanly expressed through onto the staging and in every single way that we do it, and for the emotion of the song to be expressed. So that's what it is going to be. If you want to know what the staging is, listen to the song, and that's the goal to get it to connect and match up as purely as possible to bring that emotion out there.
And maybe we got some clues from the music video.
You might have, you might have
Maybe.
not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
It looked like a lot of fun to record this music video. There was a
It
lot
was
of
very
water.
fun. Very
Yeah.
cold, very fun. I like cold water. I like cold showers. Just as I like swimming in the sea in Denmark. Uh, but yeah, honestly, it was very very cold because not just that it was cold, but it came down drop by drop. So it wasn't like a steam of water. It was these annoying little drops on my skin every 2 seconds. It was just giving me goosebumps all the time. But it was loads and loads of fun. I got used to it. I brushed it off, and I did loads and loads of stuff in that music video. And you guys are
And
only seeing 3 minutes. I was in that water for like 2 hours, 3 hours. So
and now the time has come to talk about Denmark, and you
yeah,
promised to answer a bit in Danish,
I
which
have
also
promised.
makes it easier for me as I get to speak Danish.
Let's do it.
Hvordan er dit forhold til Danmark?
Min mor er græsk, og min far er dansk. Min farmor bor i Danmark, og min faster Birgitte, og mine to fædre, Anders og Rasmus, bor lidt nord for København.
Og hvornår har du sidst besøgt Danmark?
Øh, Julen i 21.
Og hvad laver du så, når du og din familie er i Danmark?
When we travel to Denmark, I do loads and loads of things. I think one of my favorite things to do in Denmark is going to the baker in the morning, early morning with my father, and getting some kanitsnegl, or going to Tivoli with my cousins, Anders and Rasmus. In general, just being with family and getting those kanitsnegl in my belly, gaining 5 kilos before I go back to Greece.
And do you have other favorite places in Denmark or attractions that
Yeah.
you have?
We used to have we had a summer house in Gilleleje, which is a beautiful place to go to. And anywhere where we have soft ice in Denmark is a huge pleasure.
So I was actually gonna ask you about Danish food. If you have some favorite food, or maybe the opposite.
Kanelsnegl is a one thing I can't get it in Greece, and I can't get in Greece the way it's made in Denmark, and I really miss it, and I really want to come back and have that.
Have you tried to make them on yourself
Yes,
on
yes,
your own?
I make kanelsnegl all the time, but obviously I love other things as well from Denmark, especially from normal food. I like my farmers frikadelle. I can't let go of that. And rijbel as well, and loads of things.
And what
The
about
the, the Danish the Danish cuisine is all beautiful.
what about the music? Do you have some favorite Danish artists that might have inspired you?
Yeah, definitely Lucas Graham. Lucas Graham is one that I've been listening to since I was really 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 young. But I like Mads Lange as well. Mads Lange.
Yeah.
He's definitely in my tops.
I thought I heard a bit of Alex Vargas in your song. Do you know him?
Uh, yeah, I think my dad's played a few songs with it.
Yeah, he's
It
really
it
good.
it, 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 it rings a bell. We've listened to him definitely a few times in the house.
Yeah. And if we go back to Eurovision, tell us how you usually watch Eurovision together in the family, and can you agree on who to cheer for?
No, we can't. We can't. We never agree. But we don't fight either. We're just we love both countries and we're cheering for both all the time. I think some years, you know, half of the family's on the Greek side, half of the family's on the Danish side, and we're like, haha, we're gonna win. But you know, it's always fun, and we always support both countries. I'm very proud of my Greek and my Danish heritage.
And finally, do you have plans performing in Denmark after Eurovision? Do we
I'd
get to
love
see you?
to.
Yeah,
I'd really love to come to Denmark and to perform. It'd be a huge honor to come to my home country and perform there as well, just as I hope to perform here in Greece as well.
we will follow you on your Instagram account and make sure to come to your concert if you announce
Yeah,
one.
thank you so much. Yeah, I'm Victor Vernicos on all platforms, and if you guys want me to come perform in Denmark, anytime a request comes in, you be sure I'll say yes, no matter what, I'm coming.
Perfect. We'll do that. And one last thing, do you have something you want to say to the Danish fans?
Ja, jeg elsker Danmark, og jeg håber I vil støtte mig i Danmark i Eurovision. Trying my best for to represent Greece and Denmark this year. You know, like to represent both my countries because I'm a person that is a citizen of the world and I feel like it, and I'm trying to get as close to my Danish heritage as possible, whether that
Yeah,
comes to learning the language and being there. You know, I really miss being there. I haven't been there in a year and a half, and hope to come soon. Hopefully after Eurovision, we'll make a trip.